All right. Hello there. Let's go ahead and take a look at your automation. So first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the campaigns you have, and I'll show you what basically is going to happen based on the way you've set up your funnel. All right. You have your opt-in and your post-in, your post opt-in, right? So let's see if we can get that a little bit narrowed down for the miracle workers. So we can just look at those two. All right. So a couple of the groupings I've made for you is one is so we can just look at campaigns that are relevant to your miracle meeting place. So MMP stands for that. So that way if we wanted, we can look up just them. And these are two a little bit different. Let's just go ahead and make this one apart. You can change that if you like. I'm not sure how you set your campaigns up, but based off what you showed me, that's what I had saw. All right. So we're going to just look for the campaigns that are a part of that miracle meeting place, the miracle 7-day challenge, right? They opt in, they get an email, and then there's a post opt-in too. So we'll finish that. And then we'll look for the other one. I think we grabbed both of the right ones. Looks like you changed the names. Yeah. So that's the post opt-in, right? And we have that. So you can see that one is still in draft. So you just need to make sure your emails are correct and go ahead and run it, make it active because the automations are ready to go. And then the opt-in, when they get started, that one's already active, so we're good. So I'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and start with the first. Then when they're opt-in and show you what's automated. All right. So you've got your 2 emails, correct? You can see the status. You need to publish your emails, but right, that's up to you. Make sure they're written correctly, but the automations are done in them. All right. So basically, the automation here is we just want the goal of this campaign to trigger the end of the campaign, right? And then take the next step. So the automation here is when they click it, it's just going to trigger a tag that helps will escalate them to the goal of the campaign, and then go ahead and put them into saying they downloaded it. It's the whole point of this campaign. And then now they can go ahead and go to the second part of the campaign, which is post opt-in. All right. So you got the 2 emails. That's what you want them to do. Just check your copy, make sure everything in there's correct. So the goal of that first one is just to get them to download, right, and interested in your upcoming offer. Once they've downloaded it, there's no, and they've reached the end of that campaign, it's going to then send them to the post opt-in, right? So that will be automated. You can see all your emails. You need to just double check that you're ready to publish them all. They're all drafted here, so make sure you do that. But each email has been automated as well, so you can schedule, the times in between how you want them to run. That's up to your campaign design. And then for each one, there's a trigger. So let's go ahead and take a look. I think like in 3, they all have triggers, and the way way these have been automated for you. Seeing. All right. It didn't realize it was still running. I was just waiting for pages to load. So you could see for Rule 17, that's the ones that were made for your Miracle Workers Guide campaign, the first section, because you've got a few different goals going on within the long campaign. That's this post opt-in. So there's the first one, and then the second one. We want to make sure they're getting the guide downloaded. So in the first campaign, the opt-in, you're just calling them to act on downloading that ebook, right? And you just keep doing it over again. So we just want to make sure whenever they decide to download it, your system knows it, and then they're not going to be reminded to take an action they've already done. So we want your system to be smart, tracking and measuring what their activity is with your automation system. So they downloaded the book, right? And then that's going to take them to the next set. And the next set, your emails, which go on, are talking about the 7-day challenge. So I call it here, right? You can see it, Rule 18.1, 7-Day Living the Miracle. Download, right? Ebook 1. So I noticed in here you had a 7-book challenge, 7-day challenge. So each one is just sending them the book, and you want the system to know when they've downloaded it. So when you look at their contacts, you can see as you're going to create new offers or invite them to programs, or maybe provide membership value as their member in the meeting miracle place, that you want to know what actions they've taken. And so you'll be able to measure that with your analytics dashboard. The system will tell you. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. All right. So under analytics, I went to email metrics so we can see what sort of reporting your automation software is going to show for you. Let's go into the post-op Miracle Workers Guide. That's got more emails. Now you can actually just look at each email, right? Let's just see, since we were talking about 3, there's not going to be anybody in it because they're not active yet. But this is how you would go in and just check email metrics to see how it's going on. So you can look at individual emails, see if people have downloaded the guide. You can see what open rates, click rates, right? If anyone's unsubscribed, it'll just help you as you re-look at designs of campaigns to see what's performing well and what's not performing well. So let's go over to the automation system again, so I can show you why and how they were set up the way they were. So you can see the Miracle Workers Guide is active, as I told you. I'll go ahead and just put it in this one, and I'm going to put that in here. You have it a bit split up, so the idea here is so that when you want to just look at specific, like if you have multiple campaigns for like Miracle Workers Guide, because you got different projects, then we can look at them all, right? You can report on the automations, you can look at the campaigns, you can look at the people in them. So that sort of custom designed tracking system I do with tagging will help you with that. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. All right, before we get in there, you can see you get analytics with your automation, so you can look through Drip's documentation, and they'll show you how to use their analytics. And you can see here you could use a shopper activity API to help them on your website and so forth, so Drip can pull more activity on your website throughout your websites on behavior. Just going to help you on reporting and seeing which campaigns and which steps in the campaigns are working and which ones aren't. So when we go into the automation, this is again for the Miracles Guide. We keep it pretty simple. We don't want to make it complicated, right? There's no need to complicate things. So when people submit, right, your Miracle Workers Guide opt-in, you need to have that form. The trigger for your form, when people join it, you need to have the Drip. You want to have Drip form or something like that. So that way, when people are on your website, they're just entering it with a Drip form from your website, not something else. It's easier to connect that way. So try to reduce the amount of softwares and tools and things you use. The shorter the stack, the easier it is, less complicated it is for you to keep your automated business system rolling. Now the other, so you can see here, this is the trigger, and then this is a goal, applied the Miracle Workers Guide, right, book downloaded. So we just want the system to know when people are being tagged. There's multiple tags in there, but this is the first guide. So we just want the system to know, and when that happens, when you download the guide in the opt-in, we want to move them then from the opt-in to the post opt-in, right? And then the post opt-in, we just want them to complete the entire campaign. So once they've completed the campaign, which is the post opt-in Miracle Workers Guide, then that's going to pull them to the goal, right? That's the exit, and then they're just going to exit the campaign. When you have another campaign designed, or if you'd like to take them somewhere else, offer them a different product, or send membership details, another email campaign, that's where you would just kind of click here, and then you can send to action, right? You can do things like send people down a different path. You can send them into another campaign and just subscribe them this way. All right, but that's it for your automation there. And I'm gonna, and the last thing I'll show you is where your documentation is. All right. So you can see in here these are just some recordings of the tags. Briefly, each of these is a separate tag because you want in the system to know, like, you want to search like who's been downloading all your books, so you can actually check your system and drip by tags to see if people have downloaded the entire collection, or if there's like one piece in the collection people have downloaded most, so forth. But these tags are also being used to work the steps, pull people from one action to the next inside the automation sequence, and for reporting. The other thing is, like I had promised, let's go in here. These are your automations. So all the tracking and the automations that were built in here, this is just documentation for you on what was made inside Drip. So like when I was applying a tag, right? That's what these are. These are for the Miracle 7-day. We also have some here for the that will be moved over to tags as well. Right? These were for the food love story, so they're all in here. This is just a custom designed tagging system I've used when I build automated business systems. So you don't want to change these because these are exactly what are being used. And letters, spaces, dashes, anything is very specific. You don't want to ever change any of these because it will change and stop the system from working. But they're very highly needed. And then, like as I had suggested before, I told you as a gift I'd be giving you some conversion worksheets to work with. So these are just some examples. So if I just clicked on this, in the email with this video, you're also getting the conversion worksheet, so you can print them out and actually track and measure your, if you'd like, your funnels to see how they're performing for you. Revenue, total funnel profits, and so forth. So you just follow the guide, enter the information as it's suggested, and you can do it in a number of ways. You can do it with a grid. You could even give yourself an online form. So if you wanted to track click conversions using my form, you can just go ahead and use this form, share form. You just copy this link, open it in a new browser, and you can actually just use this yourself to report the conversions. So I'm giving you a click conversion worksheet and a leads conversion worksheet. So there's nothing to figure out. You just answer the questions in the form, right? You give your name, what kind of traffic source you're using. If that applies, you can change those if you like. And then you're going to just start from here and go down the list and put your answers each week, and it'll help compile the conversion. All right. So let me know if you have questions with those. You can email me. I'll have it in the support center. You can reach out that way. And also have some PDF worksheets for each of these that are in here, and the location of all your files so that you can get them. Thank you for hiring us with the Automation Business Systems. Hope you enjoy these, and please refer us to people that need the automation systems. We've updated our pricing since you've worked with us. So all of our updated pricing of things are on the website. So please refer anyone to our company website, and we'd be happy to help them. Thank you very much.